that I don't condone RAGES conduct, and I hope Psycho Stu can forgive me, myself. You know, it's hard for me to talk about it, but you know, I'm just keeping 100. You know, I feel bad about what happened to Psycho Stu.
This Rampage Jackson saga just spiraled in the wildest way. He's now facing a jaw-dropping $40 million lawsuit after what was supposed to be a wrestling stunt exploded into one of the ugliest beatdowns ever caught live on stream. What went down that night left everybody stunned. But this ain't just about some brawl gone sideways. We're talking about a retired Army vet ending up hospitalized, whispers of attempted murder, Rampage being dragged as a deadbeat dad, and now a storm inside his own circle that could strip him of everything he built. And don't think the drama stops with Rampage swinging fists. Oh no, it gets way darker. Behind those hospital records and lawsuits are promoters accused of shady setups, Rampage claiming the media is twisting it all with racism, and even streamers like Myron refusing to tear him down live on air. The mess is huge, dramatic, and way beyond what anyone expected when cameras first caught Rampage storming that ring. And let's be clear, this wasn't some random street scrap. What followed is about to shake Rampage's career, his bank account, and his entire MMA legacy. So here's how it all kicked off. On August 23, 2025, Rampage's own son showed up at the Knox X Pro Wrestling Academy during a live show in Los Angeles. At first, people assumed he was just there to chill and watch. But cameras on his Kick livestream caught him sneaking around backstage, hyping himself up about how he was gonna get his lick back on one of the wrestlers. That wrestler? Stuart Smith, better known as Psycho Stu. A retired Army vet who turned to wrestling to fight through his PTSD. And when Stu got into character, he smashed a beer can over Rampage's son's head like it was part of the act. Now in pro wrestling, stuff like that happens all the time. It's called working the gimmick. But here's the catch. Raja wasn't a trained wrestler. He's an MMA fighter. And the second that beer can cracked his head, he took it dead serious. What went down next had the whole crowd frozen in shock. Raja stormed the ring mid-match, slapped Psycho Stu flat to the mat, mounted him, and unleashed over 20 punches straight to his face. Witnesses swore Stu was out cold from the slam, and by the time security yanked Raja off, blood was literally leaking from the man's ears. But Raja didn't quit there. He strutted out of the venue, still live on stream, bragging about how he got his payback. Minutes later, he got the call no one expected. Stu had flatlined in the ring, and Raja's ice-cold response?
Hello?
Hey, where the hell are you at? I told you to double leg that motherfucker and start welding him. I just saw the video.
Shit pissed me off though, Andre.
I understand that, but now they can't wake the nigga up. He's fucking in the ring, fucking flatline, bro.
My bad.
My bad. Fans watching live couldn't believe it. One fan wrote, "If this wasn't staged, what Rampage Jackson's son did is disturbing. Even if disrespected, blindsiding somebody in a wrestling ring is reckless, not defense." To many, it looked less like a fight and more like attempted murder, and the LAPD was already digging into it. Meanwhile, Stu was in critical care, and Raja's freedom, career, and even Rampage's own reputation were unraveling in real time. And when the smoke hit the headlines, everybody was locked in to see what Rampage himself would say. His first move? He jumped on X to try and clear the air before the media buried his son completely. Rampage posted, "I want to clear up the misinformation about my son, Raja. I've been confirmed that wrestler Stuart Smith, aka Psycho Stu, is awake and stable. Raja was unexpectedly hit in the head by him before the match. Raja was told he could get his payback in the ring. I thought it was part of the show." Rampage tried to step in as the peacemaker, admitting it was bad judgment and a stunt that went completely off the rails. He reminded everyone that Raja's an MMA fighter, not a pro wrestler, and had no business being thrown into something like this. Rampage said he didn't condone his son's actions at all, pointing out that Raja had just suffered a concussion days earlier and shouldn't have been anywhere near physical contact. As a father, Rampage said his biggest concern was both Raja's health and Mr. Smith's well-being. He admitted he was upset about the whole thing, but stressed that his main focus was on Stu's recovery. He even apologized on Raja's behalf and to Kick for the chaos that exploded that night. But a couple of days later, Rampage's tone shifted, this time way more emotional and raw. He posted, "Say what you want about me, twist my words all you want. Hopefully, none of your kids fuck up bad enough to have people judge your parenting. When justice takes place, no matter what happens, I'll still be a parent who loves all his kids. I'm allowed to complain about racism. 2 human beings were involved in this incident, but hey, it's the internet. Be yourself." That post wasn't just about defending Raja anymore. It was about defending himself as a father and calling out what he saw as racism in the way the media dragged his family. But instead of calming things down, it lit the fire even bigger. MMA guru and other commentators tore into him, accusing Rampage of dodging accountability and hiding behind excuses. Still, Rampage's position stayed firm. He was ashamed of what Raja did, but no matter how ugly it got, he wasn't about to abandon his son while the world branded him a criminal. But the real hammer dropped once the dust started to settle, because now this wrestling stunt gone wrong was officially sitting on the LAPD's desk as a full-blown criminal case. Police later confirmed they were called to the Sun Valley venue that night, and Raja is officially under investigation for charges that could rise all the way to felonies. But the real shocker? Stewart's Psycho Stu, Smith's family, and legal team are gearing up for a massive $40 million civil lawsuit. They argue Raja's reckless beatdown not only left Stu with life-threatening injuries, but completely ended his ability to wrestle and earn a living. According to reports, Stu's wife, Contessa, made it clear this incident didn't just kill his career, it's now threatening their family's financial survival. And let's not forget, Stu isn't just a wrestler. He's a U.S. Army veteran already battling PTSD. Wrestling wasn't only a job for him, it was therapy. But now he's stuck in a hospital bed with shattered facial bones, teeth knocked out, and doctors warning that his road to recovery will be long and brutal. And here's where it gets even messier. The lawsuit isn't just about covering hospital bills. Stu's side says it's about sending a message. Promoters are being dragged into the mix too, because Raja revealed he was allegedly told by organizers to attack Stu as part of the storyline. If that's true, the blame stretches way past Raja, but at the end of the day, the punches came from him and the lawsuit is locked in on his name. And don't forget, cases like this don't just drain the accused, they bleed their families dry too. Fans are already speculating that Rampage's entire fortune could be hanging in the balance if this goes the wrong way. One fan on Twitter didn't hold back, writing, "Rampage Jackson and his son will have zero money left when these lawsuits are done." And it wasn't just talk. Kick permanently banned Raja's channel after the stream, cutting off one of his biggest money sources. And if LAPD decides to move forward with attempted murder charges, Raja could be staring at years behind bars. Meanwhile, fans reminded everyone that Stuart Smith, better known as Psycho Stu, wasn't just another wrestler working small shows. He was a U.S. Army veteran who leaned on wrestling as therapy to deal with his PTSD. The ring gave him a family, an escape, and a reason to keep pushing forward. That's why this attack hit so deep. It didn't just wreck his health, it ripped away the one outlet that helped him heal. Witnesses at the venue said Stu was choking on his own blood and teeth as wrestlers scrambled to save him. By the time his brother Andrew posted the first Facebook update, Stu was already in critical care with severe head injuries and facing a long, uncertain recovery. Doctors eventually confirmed he was conscious, but his wrestling career was likely finished. That's when Stu's wife, Contessa Patterson, stepped up for her family and launched a GoFundMe. She explained that this assault didn't just leave Stu broken physically, it also shattered their financial stability. Wrestling was his livelihood, and now the bills were stacking sky high. Within days, fans had raised over $150,000 to support his recovery. The emotional weight in Contessa's words struck a nerve. Stuart Smith is a U.S. Army veteran who used wrestling as an outlet to deal with his PTSD. This incident has not only caused major physical harm, but has also disrupted his career inside and outside of the ring. That message cut through fans hard, because what Raja did wasn't just reckless, it robbed a veteran of the one thing keeping him steady. And the cruelest twist? Reports say Stu actually apologized to Raja backstage before the whole thing exploded, thinking the beef was already squashed. The promoter said they'd never seen something this brutal, and they even issued a public apology to fans for the disaster. But the wildest twist came from streamer Myron, who caught serious heat for refusing to bash Raja live on air. When his chat pressed him to go in on Rampage's son, Myron snapped back, "Rampage is a friend of mine. I'm not about to bash his son on the internet for views." That defense split the audience wide open. Some fans dragged Myron for protecting someone who nearly killed a man on livestream, while others respected him for not selling out a friend just for clout. Either way, the conversation shifted. Raja wasn't just being painted as a reckless kid anymore. He was being framed as a full-blown danger to society, and Rampage's whole circle started catching heat for enabling him. At first, Rampage stuck to his calm father role, apologizing publicly, stressing he didn't condone Raja's actions, and even asking fans to pray for Psycho Stu's recovery. But once the backlash turned toward him personally, his tone flipped hard. During a live stream, Rampage made it clear he was done with the threats and furious with how the media was twisting the story. He specifically singled out MMA Guru, accusing him of fueling the fire with racist undertones. Rampage said, "People like MMA Guru, this guy's supposed to be some kind of journalist." But his racism came out. His racism showed in 2025. People make mistakes, some mess up, but it shouldn't turn into a race thing. But MMA Guru wasn't backing down either. And this is why the speculation won't stop. Could Rampage be forced to sell off properties just to cover legal fees? Could Raja try to pin the blame on shady promoters to dodge full responsibility? And the biggest question of all, can Rampage ever repair his image as a fighter, a father, and a public figure after this mess? Because right now, no matter what he says, the story is spiraling completely out of his control. So let's run it back. Rampage Jackson's son Raja went from kick streamer trying to build a name for himself to a man staring down felony charges, a $40 million lawsuit, and a permanent streaming ban. Meanwhile, Psycho Stu, a U.S. Army vet and fan favorite wrestler, is stuck fighting through a brutal recovery. His career ripped away in an instant. The wrestling and MMA world are dragging both Raja and Rampage straight into the mud. Rampage himself is standing in the fire, defending his son, blaming the system, and clapping back at media voices like MMA Guru. But whether you believe him or not, one thing's for sure and two things are certain. This scandal is nowhere near finished. If LAPD presses charges, Raja could be locked away for years. And if Stu's lawsuit sticks, Rampage could watch a huge chunk of his fortune vanish. And make no mistake, this isn't just another fight story. This is a fall from grace moment that could change legacies forever. The scariest part, we're only seeing the beginning. Promoters, sponsors, and maybe even Rampage's other kids could get pulled into this storm before it's all over. But what do you think? Is Raja just a young fighter set up by shady promoters, or did he cross the line into something darker? And is Rampage standing by his son out of loyalty, or is he blind to the damage this is causing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm checking all of them. And don't forget to hit that like button. Share this with your people. And of course, subscribe to Public Secrets. You don't want to miss the next update.